Voting is underway in a general election in Zimbabwe. Observers say it poses one of the biggest threats to President Robert Mugabe's 33-year grip on power, but there are suggestions that vote counting could be rigged. Well, let's talk to Roy Bennett, the Treasurer General of Zimbabwe's opposition party, the Movement for Democratic Change. He's currently prevented from entering the country, so he joins us from Johannesburg in South Africa. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Bennett. Do you think there is a chance that there could be a change of leader in Zimbabwe as a result of this election? I mean, obviously, your leader, Morgan Tsvangirai, is contesting it. Presumably, he must have some hope that he might defeat Mugabe.
Good afternoon, Adam. Thank you. Most definitely. In all the years, the 13 years that I've been involved in the struggle, I've never felt the energy and the momentum from the Zimbabwean people there is at the moment. On the run-up to the elections, the numbers that attended the rallies, the huge energy that was created by that momentum. And today, the numbers at the polling stations alone tell a story. And
the last presidential election, of course, was very much marred by violence and was Morgan Tsvangirai eventually walked away from the contest. Are you convinced that this time round, although there may be some irregularities, that this is a fairer contest, if I can put it like that?
I think you've got a completely different set of circumstances, Adam. The last time violence was used, this time I honestly believe the rig is in full swing. The hope of the MDC and the reason for the MDC to contest these elections was the pressure from the people that wanted to go into this election and get it done with. As we sit, no voters roll, no electronic form of the voters roll, polling stations in opposition areas spread out and minimized. In Mugabe's areas, many polling stations put together, people going in to register, being moved around, chaos at some of the voting stations, of people being moved from ward to ward as their names don't appear on the ward that they registered at. Going with their voting slips, their registration slips are not being allowed to accredit themselves. So definitely there's a full rig in place. But, you know, we believe, and it is possible, that if the numbers turn out, and the numbers are so great, that even the rig that they put in place through the hire of a security system headed by an Israeli company called Nikuv, we can defeat them.
Yeah, Morgan Tsvangirai, of course, is a much more familiar figure, both internationally and, of course, at home in Zimbabwe than he once was. And it's almost inevitable, perhaps, that we've seen a slight drop in his opinion poll ratings and that of his party since they took part in the government.
I think the NDC did pay a political price for going into that government, yet they also added tremendous value to the turnaround of the economy in the country and the daily average lives of people through improved education, health, financial exercises. The whole thing was improved. The people of Zimbabwe know, and definitely Morgan Tsvangirai is the future of Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF's own policies is what has destroyed them. The average day, the average grind for the average person every day in Zimbabwe is a grind. There's food on all the shelves. That's all imported. It's way above the price reach of the average Zimbabwean. People are battling, and they attribute the state of the economy and the state of their daily lives to the failed policies of Robert Mugabe and his ZANU-PF.
Yeah, many of the independent commentators who've been in Zimbabwe around the time of this election are saying that things are looking up, that the situation on the ground for ordinary Zimbabweans is improving at the moment. Do you accept that?
Absolutely. It has come, and a lot of it is attributed to the MDC's involvement in the government of national unity.
What about yourself? You are not welcome at home. Is that the situation?
That's correct, Adam. You know, I hold the position of Treasurer General in the Movement for Democratic Change. Any political party survives on resources. Obviously, I'm key to the mobilization and deployment of those resources, and therefore, for Robert Mugabe and his party, become public enemy number one. So I've suffered severe persecution for holding that position, and would never be able to operate effectively from inside Zimbabwe. I'd either be imprisoned or worse still, would be no longer. It is much easier for me to operate from exile. where I can do things accountably and transparently and get it to the people that matter.
If Morgan Tsvangirai is elected president, do you think he'll be returning home?
Most definitely, Adam, without a doubt.
And just briefly paint us a pen portrait of Morgan Tsvangirai. Who is he and what does he offer his country?
Morgan Tsvangirai is a people's person. He might not be the best there is, he might not be perfect, but he's a people's person. He comes from the people of Zimbabwe. He has the aspirations and the hopes of the people of Zimbabwe firmly in his hand. He has the policies, he has the will to create what's needed for the average Zimbabwean to move forward, and that is jobs, an economy, deal very decisively with corruption, reintroduce the rule of law, and most importantly, the reform of the security institutions to become obedient to the constitution of Zimbabwe and not politicians subservient to a political party.
Mr. Bennett, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
My pleasure, Adam. Thank you.